This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video.
Brilliant, just brilliant.
This week, the West Coast action heats up when the Rams meet the Seahawks in a huge divisional showdown. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. And don't miss the Broncos and Chiefs on Christmas night. It's Thursday Night Football, only on Prime Video. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Dr. Raj.
Dr. Raj. Dr. Raj Dasgupta.
The most interesting pulmonologist in the world.
Welcome to the Dr. Raj Podcast, a show all about empowering knowledge, addressing difficult topics, raising awareness, and being positive. Dr. Raj is a quadruple board-certified physician, associate professor of clinical medicine, and the associate program director of internal medicine residency. He was a co-host on the TNT series Chasing the Cure with Ann Curry, as well as a regular on the TV show The Doctors. And now, here's our show.
Hi, and welcome to the Dr. Raj Podcast. And what is this a podcast of? It's of happiness and wellness, great people, amazing stories, and yes, knowledge. Not just dorky medical knowledge, but things that patients want to know, things that just people want to know. You know what a hot topic is? It's supplements. Who's taking a supplement? Yes, I see it. Everyone raised their hand. No, put your hands back on the steering wheel. Drive with two hands. Yes, we want to talk about supplements today because if you were to ask me what's a supplement, I don't even know what to say. A vitamin? Mineral? I don't know. So I thought we should hear it from someone who knows their stuff. So what better than to get a director of like nutrition and fitness of one of my favorite companies, Good Housekeeping, let's get one of my friends, a registered dietitian, Stefani Sassos. She is a National Academy of Sports Medicine, that's NASM certified personal trainer and the nutrition and fitness director of the Good Housekeeping Institute. She handles all nutrition and fitness related content, testing, and evaluation for the brand. Stefani holds a bachelor's degree in nutritional sciences from Pennsylvania State University, that's Penn State, and a master's degree in clinical nutrition from NYU. She is dedicated to providing readers with evidence-based content to encourage informed food choices and healthy living. Stefani is an avid crossfitter and a passionate home cook who loves spending time with her big, fit Greek family. She almost pulled a fast one on me, everyone. I was going to say, why did she put big fat Greek? Because I love that movie, The Big Fat Greek Wedding, but it's fit. And with that being said, Stefani, how you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, especially to talk about this topic, because I feel that so many people have questions around supplements, and it's really this space with a lot of gray area. So to get some clarity around it, help you make informed purchases. Do you even need them? We're going to go through it all today.
I love it. I love it. So, on my little things to do list, it's the meet and greet time. So you just had a baby.
I did. My second, he's 5 months. Oh my gosh. As of last week, I'm like, where did the time go?
Wait, gender me up. Is it a boy? Is it a girl?
Yes.
What's the name? I mean, give me something.
Yes.
Give me something.
So Marcos is 5 months, my little baby boy.
Yeah.
And he's got my heart for sure.
Oh.
And my daughter Stella is, she just turned 3. So we're in it right now. We are in it. Sleepless nights, but we're pushing through.
So coming from someone who's got 3, is the second one harder, easier? Did you master everything already, or is Marco throwing you some curveballs?
Well, he definitely has a more chill temperament. I will say that. Okay. But I do think that 0 to 1 was much harder than 1 to 2. I mean, 1 to 2 is hard.
Yeah.
But I just hated the parents that were like, oh, just wait till you have 2 and you won't be able to handle it. And, you're already kind of in this chaos of parenting, and it's just add the kid into the mix. You're already in the motions.
Yeah.
But they have a really nice relationship, the two of them. I feel very fortunate for that,
Well, you got the one of each. Everyone likes the one of each. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's when you get 2 of the same, then you're, oh my God, number 3, what do we do? Oh my God.
I love it.
So with all that being said, growing up, when you just were going to decide what I'm going to be, you didn't become a firewoman. You didn't become tech. You became nutrition and fitness. How did that become the road you wanted to go down?
Yes. So like you said before, I come from a big fit Greek family. My family, we're literally just like the movie, except we all like to exercise. That's really the only difference. So I really was influenced by my parents. I mean, my parents, again, always an emphasis on a Mediterranean diet. So that was like a cornerstone of our households. That was passed down, from generations too. And my parents were always very active. My father played soccer in college. He was an NCAA soccer referee. My mom, exercised her whole life. So they kind of taught me how nutrition and fitness really work synergistically. I really feel like you can't have one without the other. They just are this perfect pair. So seeing that modeled totally, in a side way influenced me in my career, which was awesome. And it also makes me think about now as a parent, like the little things we do, you don't realize. Just seeing my parents wake up early to exercise before work, and these things do impact us as a kid and as we grow into adulthood and we create healthy habits. So definitely I would say strongly influenced by my parents and my family in that for sure. Not pressured, but influenced.
So let me ask you the analogy to the movie. Does your parents live down the street, and does your mom or dad come over with a bottle of Windex and start squirting your kids when they throw up or something?
Basically, exactly, yes. There's a house across the street from my parents. My mom says to me, you want to move into this house? A little too close for comfort. But I would say they're a little bit more Americanized, but definitely many remnants of the movie in real life, for sure.
I love it. So I got to give a shout out to Good Housekeeping and also my bestie, Alyssa Jung. That's how I met you. Alyssa's just an awesome person. I don't blame you for working there, because I got a chance when I met you at the Good Housekeeping Institute, which is so cool. Was that your first gig after you graduated college? Did you kind of end up there by accident? Is there a little backstory to it,
Yeah, so actually, no, I was working clinically. So I worked in a hospital, then I was in oncology, a board certified oncology dietitian. So I did that in a cancer center. I also had a private practice. So my pathway to Good Housekeeping was a little unconventional. But my mission from day one has always been, how can I reach as many people as possible with quality, evidence-based nutrition information? Because there's so much misinformation, disinformation out there on social media. So when I was working at the hospital, I had the private practice on the side. I would write articles on the side just to reach more people. I did very local media. And 3 people sent me this job listing, and I'm like, that's a sign from God. I need to apply for this job. And I never thought they'd call me back, and they did. And here we are. This is like about 5 years later, and it's an awesome job. So in this role, my primary part of this job is overseeing our nutrition and fitness content. Like you said, I have a big fitness background too. And that involves everything from the articles we're writing in the nutrition and fitness space to the testing of the products, including supplements. And it's really interesting with Good Housekeeping. Well, a Good Housekeeping shout out.
Go for it.
Every, realm of the Good Housekeeping Institute has top experts in their field. So we have beauty chemists, we have fiber scientists, we have engineers, dietitians.
You got
Dr. Raj, exactly. So it's really so informed. I think it's so cool that we have this sort of brain trust of experts that we're able to tap to give you these recommendations for living your life, buying products to help you get by day to day. That's my little Good Housekeeping shout out.
All right. No, it was a great one, dude. They're going to pay us for that, both of us. Let's set it up, dude. We kind of teased everyone about it. So, Steph, how would you define a dietary supplement? What is it?
Yes. So dietary supplements are just that. They're meant to supplement, right? Or add to your diet. So they include everything from, like you said, vitamins, minerals, herbs and botanicals can be under supplements, amino acids, enzymes. Obviously, they come in many different forms. So tablets, capsules, soft gels, powders, gummies, liquids. The main thing here, unlike drugs, supplements are not supposed to or are not supposed to be intended to cure or treat diseases, right? So again, they're going to supplement the diet, and we'll talk a little bit about the pros and cons of them and their uses, but that's sort of the gist. You can, of course, get a very much more, ingrained medical terminology definition, I'm sure, on the NIH or the FDA's website, but that's sort of the overarching thing.
No, I understand that. I liked it. You made it simple for me. So you're right. You kind of read my mind a little bit. I want to do a little bit benefits and risks. You know what I mean? So let's start with the good stuff. You know what I mean? So are there benefits in taking any of these supplements, whether it's going to be a vitamin, mineral, something for the joints, something for, what is your overarching theme here? Are there benefits?
Yeah. So probably the biggest benefit, right, is prevention, management of like nutrient deficiencies, right? So what is a deficiency? Your body's not getting enough of something, right? Yeah. And nutrient deficiencies are real. I mean, sometimes it can be difficult to get enough of certain nutrients through your diet alone, especially if maybe you're not eating the most nutritious diet, maybe you have a really busy lifestyle, maybe you're in a certain life phase, like you're pregnant, or, you're going through menopause. There's all different phases of life, right? Maybe you're an athlete and you have increased nutritional needs in certain things. You might have some pre-existing medical issues, right? Where make you more prone to deficiencies in certain aspects. So that's, I would say, the biggest benefit of a dietary supplement is to help bridge that gap, help you meet your nutritional needs. But again, it's to supplement the diet. It's not meant to replace the diet. So that's, I'd say, the biggest benefit.
Yeah, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Okay, so one question I get all the time, dude, and I feel bad making it awkward. So people always ask me, there's something called the RDA, the recommended daily allowance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is there, in broadest of strokes, any benefit in taking any supplement beyond the RDA?
Totally. It does matter which vitamin, which mineral, right? Mm-hmm. We why don't we get into this now? So there's all different types of vitamins. Let's talk about vitamins, right?
Okay.
So there we go. So there's fat soluble vitamins and there's water soluble vitamins. Just to give you a quick, just to touch a little bit of science here, okay?
Yeah.
So water soluble vitamins, things like vitamin C, right? B vitamins, right? If we get too much of those things, our body will just pee them out.
Okay.
Just to be straight with you, that's what happens, right? So that's why, like, maybe if you start taking a multivitamin and you notice that your pee is like a neon yellow, that's because that's some really expensive pee that you have right there. You're peeing out all of these extra vitamins that your body just doesn't need, right? So that's how that stuff leaves our body.
Okay.
Now, fat soluble vitamins,
vitamins
are a little bit
A,
different.
D, E, and K.
Yes, exactly.
I want to show off that I am a doctor. You know what I mean?
Love it. You've taken your nutrition course in med school.
Something like that. Okay.
So what I will say about those is that those are the ones that are more prone to toxicity. So if you get too much of those, our body can't, excrete it through the urine. And so that can lead to toxicity. Now, there are certain benefits, let's say, for immune health, right? Taking a certain amount of vitamin C or zinc, right? That's over the RDA. There is some evidence that might be beneficial. But again, it really boils down to each specific vitamin and nutrient. And one good resource for doctors and for just
Yeah.
general consumers, the NIH has a great, the NIH is the National Institutes of Health. They have an amazing directory of dietary supplement fact sheets.
Yeah.
And they have it for consumers and for healthcare professionals. So if you're not sure about something, obviously, speak with your doctor, speak with your registered dietitian, but that's a great place to go to get that general information about what is this? Are there certain, amounts that are beneficial for me? Things like that.
Question. So, oh my God, you're getting me fired up again, dude. So B vitamins, there's like 20 million B vitamins. I can't remember the names plus the numbers. It's too hard. You know what I mean? But say a thiamine, you know what I mean? We give it out like candy, but B vitamins are water soluble. So my question is, it's hard to be toxic from it, right? So that's why I'm not going to go around and, hey, check my level, doc. You know what I mean? I'm just going to, if I want to take a little bit extra, there's really limited downside because I'm just going to pee it out. Am I saying
exactly? Yeah. So that's the whole thing. You don't want to do any harm, right? So with water soluble vitamins, if you're having too much, again, you're just peeing it out of your body. Your body is naturally going to get rid of it. It's so like you said, thiamine, any of these B vitamins,
folic acid, folic acid up,
exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. So that's something to be mindful of. In terms of, again, A, D, E, and K, those fat soluble vitamins, have to be careful with that. The only exception with that is vitamin D. Most people are not getting enough vitamin D or vitamin D deficient. Yes, you can get a toxicity from too much vitamin D, but that would be very, very difficult. I mean, you'd have to be getting pumped up with so much vitamin D. I remember like in the hospital, like they would put, sometimes people who are very deficient, they would put them on these crazy amounts of vitamin D. If you were doing that for like an extended period of time, maybe that could lead to it. But most people do need vitamin D. And we'll talk too about vitamin D is connected to so many different things. It's like the one thing that you should get checked for, No,
you see, I want to go through the order of my list, but can we do do a sub-seg on vitamin D? Because of all the questions that I get all the time from medical students and my patients is vitamin D. And I think I just wanted to hear your take on this, is that vitamin D for me is great when we talk about women, we talk about bones, we talk about fractures, we talk about falls. But now, OMG, they're trying to talk about Alzheimer's and inflammation and this. You think it's a little overkill, like, in what vitamin D does?
Totally. Look, vitamin D is important. It is a hormone. Your body needs it. Some people are just poor vitamin D converters, but it's not a cure-all. One thing I'll just go back to, because we had just talked about folic acid, and we can talk more about that too.
Sure.
But so just to close the loop on that one.
All right, close it.
Folic acid is a special type of nutrient in that you can't get too much of it through diet alone. Like if you get it through diet alone, you will pee out the excess. But from man-made sources like vitamins, there can be a concern if you're getting too much. There is like a tolerable upper limit, I think, for it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know how much it is.
Okay.
Again, you're probably not getting a lot of it. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of hard to find in dietary sources, but all of this stuff, like you might see sometimes vitamin C in 1,000 times whatever the RDA is, right? And that stuff, you're just going to pee it out, right? So again, it does really vary by specific nutrient. So to just look into it, again, the NIH is a good resource.
Yeah.
Going back to the vitamin D,
sure,
it's great. Is it going to cure all your ailments? No. But it is important to get it checked.
Yeah.
And I think if your insurance will cover it or whatever, to get it checked at least once a year.
Yeah.
If you're deficient, maybe more frequent than that. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
No, mine's low. My 25, not the 125. My 25 is low. So I'm popping a little BQ at nighttime.
Absolutely. And I do think there's also, I could be making this up, but I want to say this is probably accurate.
Yeah, tell me.
Like if you've been, let's say you're deficient and you've been taking a certain amount, like 2,000 IU every day.
Sure, that's
like
a standard dose. That's standard dosing right there.
You might end up needing like more. You might go back and it might not have, your body almost gets acclimated to that dose. And so you might need more.
Okay.
So that's why it is important to get it checked, be consistent with it with your doctor. They might want to up the dose. That's my vitamin D
So,
spiel.
you know why I brought up folic acid? My wife's a rheumatologist, and one of the go-to drugs for a lot of inflammatory joint diseases is something called methotrexate. And you need to give some folic acid with it, man. You know what I mean? So I always hear about folic acid when I eavesdrop on her conversations with her patients. She's such a good doctor. But hey, do you want to hear a 2-second crazy story, the true story that just happened?
Would love to.
Yeah. Okay, so you're all into vitamins and supplements and everything like that. Have you ever heard of a street addiction called whippets?
What is that? I've heard of that. Yes.
No, whippets are, like whipped cream cans, you know what I mean? You inhaled nitric oxide.
Oh, yes.
So anyways, I had a patient over here where it was really sad young person. It's a very addictive thing when you take nitric oxide. It's more than just laughing gas. And one of its bad side effects that it does to you is it sucks up all your B12. Your B12 is not even non-existent. And these poor people end up getting neuropathy, they get memory problems, they get ataxia. So
wow.
What you do with supplements is so important because people don't realize that it's a part of every single biochemical process in your body. And you can get some bad effects. Yeah.
Totally. And like you said, like along those lines, sometimes these things can mask deficiencies in other things. So there is the folic acid, the B12, all that stuff. So it's all interconnected, right? And that's the other thing too. Sometimes you'll see, for example, like if you're taking, a curcumin supplement, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, is there the extracts from black pepper in there to make sure you're absorbing it to the best that you can? So there's a lot. You can get into the minutia of it, but I think knowing the basics.
Yep.
The one thing I did want to just touch upon while we talked about,
what is it?
I always say, and I kind of alluded to this, but supplements should do just that. We always say this at GH, supplement the diet, not replace high quality nutritious foods, right?
Yeah.
And other important healthy lifestyle factors too, right? So that's the biggest thing. Like it cannot replace a healthy eating routine. Food comes first. The other thing too is that a well-balanced diet is so important for you because the foods have nutrients that, again, I'm using this word synergistically, but it's true. They work synergistically together to benefit your body. So we can't just take one nutrient from broccoli and say, this is healthy. Like it's all those vitamins and minerals and nutrients and the fiber, everything together that makes it so nutritious for your body, right?
No,
so
right.
When you can prioritize a well-balanced diet, that's key. And again, the supplements are really just meant to sort of add to it. There are phases in life where there's so many different types of supplements, but maybe there's a phase in your life where you're not, getting enough vegetables in your diet, and then you turn to a greens powder, and that's not my favorite thing. Obviously, your diet should be prioritized, but like if that's the only option for you, I get it, right?
Yeah.
So sort of looking at your dietary habits and saying, can I meet my needs through this alone, and using the supplements to sort of add to it, but not replace it.
Well said. But let me ask you this, because we're talking all these stories and your tips. What about dietary supplements? Are they regulated by anyone? Is anyone slapping supplement people on the wrist when they do a naughty? You know what I mean?
Yes. It's a good question. The whole thing is a bit complicated. Technically, they are. There is some regulations by the FDA.
Okay.
However, supplements are not approved prior to going to market. Okay. So,
okay.
Unlike prescription drugs, let's say, right?
Yeah.
So it's really on the manufacturers, right, who are making it. They're responsible for ensuring the products are safe. They're marketed, labeled properly, right? We'll talk a little bit more about what to look for when you're buying these things, right?
Totally.
But it differs because they're regulated as foods, to get technical, but they're different than foods, right? And they're different than drugs. So that's one thing just to be cautious of. You'll see a lot of claims on some of these supplements. There are things to look for. There are things you want to avoid. So I would say, yes, they are technically regulated, but I don't want to say they're poorly regulated, but it's such a huge industry. There's so many supplements, right, that need to be looked at, and they're not getting that going on the shelf approval. So keep that in mind when you are shopping, right? Because you want to be an informed consumer.
Totally.
You want to make sure that you're doing your own research on what you're purchasing.
No, and I would just say my 2 cents before my next question. It's the marketing of them. They know their target audience, and they're suckering all these people, my wonderful patients who don't have a lot of money to buy this stuff, and it's not cheap. Holy Christ, they're expensive. But
absolutely,
I want you to answer this one, which will kind of lead to it. So for your peeps and my peeps, what are your tips, Steph, for consumers to be safe and informed when they are spending their hard-earned money getting some of this stuff,
Totally. I would say first and foremost, speak to your doctor before you're adding anything into your regimen. Because look, supplements can interact with other supplements. They can interact with other medications you're taking, right? Some can increase the risk of bleeding. Some can even change your response to anesthesia if you're taking them before a surgery. So you want to make sure that you're looking at the whole picture. Talk to your doctor. What am I taking? Is this safe? Even certain antioxidants, when I was working in the cancer center, can intervene with your chemotherapy treatment. So, or at least like reduce the effectiveness of it, right? So you don't want that. That's not where you're going there. So it is important, obviously, speak with your doctor. That's the first thing. Second, buying from a reputable brand. How do you know if a brand is reputable or not? Well, first and foremost, you want to look for a manufacturer who A, has good internal quality control standards, but also B, is voluntarily sending out their products for third-party testing. So what is third-party testing? It's when the brand sends out their products to a third-party lab, right, separate from the brand itself, to confirm, like, is the supplement what it says it is? Does it have what it says on the nutrition facts, on the supplement facts label? We want to make sure it doesn't have more or less than that, right? You don't want to be getting gypped. You also don't want to be getting 300 times more than what it says on there, which some of these, companies that don't do this, go the extra mile, you'll find reports about that they have X amount more, or that they barely have anything, or they don't even have what they're saying they have, right? It's something totally different. So the third-party testing is important. Like, obviously you want good, strict internal quality control standards, but third-party testing for the quality, the potency, the safety, the purity, right? That's all important. They also can test for contaminants like heavy metals. So typically, if a supplement's third-party tested, you'll see some sort of emblem on the packaging or on the website. So like ones to look for, USP, NSF, right? These are ones that are very recognizable. If you're also not sure, there are a couple other different third-party certifications that the brands can get. Some brands will just send it to a lab, a third-party lab, and not pay for this extra special emblem, right? And that's okay too.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, our holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
On the Good Housekeeping website, we have like deep dives into almost every single category of supplements, and we've vetted these things. So like if you're looking for the best multivitamins, if you're looking for the best probiotics, like we have gone through and looked at literally the entire shelf and all the options and narrowed down for you what are the best and what are the brands that are going the extra mile. And again, most of these products, we prioritize the third-party tested products. But again, not every product is third-party tested because it can be expensive, right? Sending it out to this third-party lab.
Yeah.
But as long as they're doing good internal quality control standards and they're being honest and it manufacturer you can trust, a reputable brand you can trust, then that's okay too, right? The other thing too is just like making sure that it's something you actually need. Again, supplements are expensive. You don't want to be wasting your money. Obviously don't want something that's going to be harmful, but making sure it's a supplement. Like if you are deficient in vitamin D, take a vitamin D supplement.
Yeah.
If you're not really eating any probiotic rich foods, take a probiotic, right? Making sure it's something that you actually need as opposed to something that your friends started taking and they said it's great, but you don't really need, right? That's my safe, informed shopping experience advice.
I love it. No, let me ask you one more before we go into some specific things. So, have you encountered, whether you're doing the oncology wards or there at Good Housekeeping, any adverse effects or side effects from a supplement? And if that happens to one of my peeps, who should they tell? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Great question.
Mm-hmm.
That happens all the time, not necessarily here, but in general, I'm talking about just in general.
Okay.
And back when I worked at the hospital, we had some cases of that, especially if you're taking too much of something, but sometimes you can have just a general adverse event to a supplement. So in that case, obviously tell your doctor. They can also report it to so you tell your doctor, right? But you can also report it to the FDA yourself.
Okay.
You can call in. There's an online form. Your doctor can also report it too. So I would say, let your doctor know, report it to the FDA. It's very easy. You go on their website or call them. And if you can, I'd also let the manufacturer know. So typically there's usually some sort of like contact information on the bottle, right? Because that stuff is real. And sometimes there might be issues. So we've never seen that at Good Housekeeping. We don't test supplements in that way. We're looking more at the claims on the product. We're looking at testing reports. We're looking at, contaminants, heavy metals, things like that.
Yeah.
But back when I was in the hospital, for sure, we would see stuff like that,
Cool. Now, this is going to be my favorite seg. It's our third seg, our final seg. It's going to be, I'm going to title this Stephanie's favorite supplements. So I hope you make a lot of money off this segment. You know what I'm saying? So the first topic, I'm very fortunate. I don't know why, but I'm really strongly affiliated with a lot of women predominant magazines, Women's First, Good Housekeeping, Prevention, Reader's Digest. I don't know if it exists anymore, but, so I want to do something for women. And it's really strange, but sweet when my women patients ask me about like being perimenopausal and everything. And I'm like, I love they want my opinion. You know what I mean? And so I just want to know, in general, it doesn't have to be because of menopause and stuff. In general, what are your favorite supplements for women?
Great question. In general, I am a fan of a good quality multivitamin, just to start out.
Okay.
I do think that they can help fill the gaps. Also, it's interesting in recent years, we've covered some studies that have come out on like multivitamin use and memory. And who knows, is it just because people who are taking a multivitamin are eating healthier and exercising? Maybe that's it. But again, typically with the multivitamins, if you're getting too much, you're probably just peeing it out. So I think a good quality multivitamin is important. I won't say any brands. Again, you can go onto our site to see products that we've tested and things like that.
Yeah.
So a good multi for sure. We touched on vitamin D. Super important for your immune system. It's a hormone as well. Calcium absorption. Calcium as well, especially for postmenopausal women. If you have a history or family history of osteoporosis, I think like every single woman from when they are young need to be prioritizing calcium-rich foods, strength training, impact as well, jumping, things like that, right? To strengthen those bones.
Yeah.
Because we don't realize when you get postmenopausal, the bone health and what happens there is really intense. So trying to build those reserves is crucial. So those are a couple of main ones. Obviously, we talked about folic acid for childbearing years. That's huge. A lot of prenatals will have that, but sometimes they don't have enough.
Yeah.
So you want to look at that, especially if you're taking like one a day. And that's the other thing too. at least during pregnancy, since I was literally just pregnant a few months ago, is you realize that calcium, for instance, like to put a lot of calcium in a multivitamin will make the pill huge. So that's why a lot of times you'll see a small amount of calcium in a multi, or a lot of multis don't even have calcium in them, right?
Yeah.
So taking a look at that to see iron, of course, especially if you have like heavy menstrual cycles. And then I think omega-3s too are really important. Again, the priority is getting it through food, right? So not to say you should take a multivitamin and all these things, but if you're someone who eats a very healthy diet, you're eating a lot of fish, walnuts, right? Healthy fats, you don't need those omega-3s, right? But maybe you need a little bit of iron because you're not eating any red meat, right? Or you're not having a lot of iron-rich foods. So it is beneficial to look at the whole picture and speak with a dietitian if you're not sure, to see, okay, where can I fill in those gaps? But for women,
let me interrupt you right there. So just in case, because now I'm going to have a doctor-y question. So for a woman who's having heavy menstrual periods, but they're still eating their yummy steak or whatever it is, but they don't have iron deficiency anemia. They don't have the low hemoglobin, the low MCV, mean corpuscle volume. Would you still recommend it?
As long as they can tolerate it well.
Okay.
Because the thing about iron, also iron can be constipating. That's the other thing.
It does. You're right. You're right.
If you're staying on top of it with your diet,
yeah.
If you're also incorporating like vitamin C rich foods, because that helps you better absorb iron, right?
Yeah.
And your levels are okay.
Yeah.
Then it's fine. You don't necessarily need it, right?
Okay.
Could you go on a low dose of iron just to be safe?
Yeah.
Probably couldn't hurt. Again, that's really very individualized. It depends on also, like, do you have a family history? Are you planning to get pregnant? I mean, the 2 times I've been pregnant, I've had terrible iron deficiency anemia with both pregnancies, which just happens, even though I was eating iron rich foods, right? So sometimes having those reserves can also be beneficial.
Yeah.
So I think looking at it from that perspective is important too.
So personal question, did you get some restless leg syndrome during pregnancy without an iron deficiency?
Yes, I did, especially with my son.
I'm sorry.
And it's tough, but it was interesting with him.
Yeah.
I went on it a little bit sooner because I had figured, okay, I'm probably going to become anemic.
Yeah.
Just like last time.
Yeah.
And I used this lotion, this like weird lotion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name of it. It's on all the pregnancy podcasts or whatever. And
okay.
There must be something in it that, because your skin's your largest organ, right? So there must be something in it that, penetrates, goes through your body, penetrates your skin and impacts you. But there's all this crazy pregnancy skincare stuff.
So let me ask you a clinical question to help me out. So, I got a lot of patients who are iron deficient, you know what I mean? And of course, treat the underlying cause, but do you recommend I tell them to chug some orange juice with the iron or take a vitamin C with it? Do you agree? Or is that what you do?
Absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes you'll find like complexes that have both. It just depends what you're looking for.
Oh, they have it together with vitamin C iron combo? That's cool.
Sometimes there are things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. Again, a multivitamin, if it does have iron, some do, some don't, and it has vitamin C in it, that's great.
Okay.
But to chug it with some orange juice, why not? That's a great idea.
So I'm not going to let you skirt away from this one, dude. Okay. Everyone always asks me, Raj, about menopause. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you what I recommend, because this is what I was taught. I don't know if it works. Black cohosh.
Yeah. Black cohosh. I know there is some literature.
That's all that comes out of my mouth. Can you say something else besides black cohosh to help?
There is some literature around it for sure. Well, look, the biggest thing with the menopause supplements, I think there's a lot of products that are marketed for menopause. I don't know how much to necessarily help. We do actually have a piece on the site, believe it or not, that goes through some of the big ones and sort of like some of the myths around it too. But I know with some of the hot flashes and the symptoms and things like that, I'm sure that people are just desperate for some sort of help. And
that's not medical and doesn't contain estrogen. They're always worried about that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So But black cohosh I've heard of. There's a couple other different like small compounds, some complexes out there.
Oh, you're gonna say one, dude. I can tell. I
Yeah,
can see
I know.
in your
I
face that
know.
you're a
Well,
little
you know what?
hesitant.
I know there's certain brands. I just don't want to mention any particular brands.
No, I love you that you don't, because we need to we need a contract with them first. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But what I will say is that
tell me.
There are some brands, if you go onto Good Housekeeping, there's brands that we are constantly recommending that are top quality, third party tested. And some of them do make complexes targeted towards, menopausal symptom relief. Are they going to necessarily help? I can't guarantee that, but some of them might have compounds, different herbal extracts.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I think grape seed's another one with the black cohosh.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
There you go. There you go.
You got me. You got me at grape seeds, dude.
There you go. Grape seeds are definitely, I've heard that one too. Magnesium, all that stuff too.
So let me ask you another Stephanie favorite. I'm very, very passionate about memory and cognition because my dad, he's got severe Alzheimer's, and I'm affiliated with these wonderful assisted living memory care units called Aegis. I just plugged them in a little bit. You know what I mean? So do you have any recommendations for supplements for memory and cognition?
Yes, definitely. Obviously, diet's key, right? I mean, that diet is not going to fix these memory issues, but there is, I don't know if you've heard of the Mind diet. You ever heard of that?
No, this is your moment.
Okay.
Spotlight.
So the Mind diet, it basically targets healthy aging of the brain. So it's the Mediterranean DASH diet. So it's essentially a combination of the two, right? And there is a lot of like literature around the Mind diet and basically just like a general healthy eating, heart healthy diet as well, right? That's also good for your brain, not a ton of salt, very nutrient dense foods, things like that. However, in terms of supplements, again, I had mentioned to you about the multi and the memory and cognition study that came out like recent years. That's one thing. Omega-3 fatty acids, that's huge with brain health. So fish oil, obviously, if you can incorporate more fatty fish in, that's great.
Does all
It's
fish
a lot
oil
of these
give you that smell in your breath? And
they've come a long way now. I will say that of all the ones that we've seen, we literally will smell all of these products. And you know what's funny too is when I was taking my prenatals and I would take like a prenatal fish oil, which is just a fish oil. I mean, they market it as a prenatal fish oil. It's regular fish oil.
Okay.
And you really have to it's very individualized because I would take it and it would be fine. And all of a sudden later on in the day, I'd be burping. I'm like, how is this making me burp later on? So fish oil is one. There's definitely, I think, brands that have done a good job at masking that.
Okay.
Vitamin E. So a lot of these like fat soluble vitamins are very good for the brain. There's also a few B vitamins as well.
Okay.
But those are kind of the key ones that benefit brain health.
Okay, cool deal. I want to give you two more because I yak with you so much. Time just flew by. So everyone's going to yell at me if I don't ask you about sleep because I am a sleep doctor, supposedly. So I wanted to hear from you. What leaves, Stephanie's mouth when it comes to supplements and sleep? What are you going to tell me?
Yes. Well, again, first I'm leading with sleep hygiene. Also, nutrition and sleep are actually so important.
Okay.
This is me on my nutrition high horse, okay?
Okay.
Even eating too quickly, skipping meals, eating a lot at once, eating late, like a big meal in the evening, all this stuff can affect your sleep. But anyway, if we're going into the supplements category, melatonin, obviously, hormone that regulates your sleep, wake cycle, all that stuff. We have a couple different pieces on the site on melatonin. And what I will say is this, there's different amounts. Some of these are like delayed release to sort of mimic your sleep patterns throughout the day. It's very interesting, actually. There was a brand that came out with a sleep supplement maybe about a year or so ago. And it's designed to literally mimic how your body actually works in the evening. So to delay the release of different compounds throughout the evening. So that's kind of cool. So melatonin for sure, obviously. Magnesium's another one. The different types of magnesium matter. There's some that are more well established when it comes to sleep. I'm sure you could talk about that. I also think L-theanine. I mean, I don't know if you know a lot about L-theanine, but that's an amino acid that can help promote like relaxation, improve sleep quality. So those, you'll see those ingredients in a lot of the sleep supplements.
Yeah.
So that's something to be mindful of too.
I'll tell you this much. Melatonin scares me the way they market it nowadays. Did you know? I'm going to give you a did you know that besides multivitamin, the most popular supplement that people are just buying because it's right there on the checkout line and it tastes like gummy sour bears is freaking melatonin, man. Oh my God.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the concerns with like melatonin in kids, specifically young boys?
I don't know about the young boys. You may make me a smarter doctor, but I know in general, there are concerns now because, hey, you don't want to give your young tyke any type of antihistamine or drug or anything. And, it looks benign, but I think that the jury's still out to see how much you give, when you give. So I think for a young mom like you or a dad like me, I still get a little hesitant. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and it's hard. And I got to tell you, having a kid with autism, I'll take anything. It's so hard. You know what I mean? But I think that you always say the right thing, Stephanie. Talk to your healthcare provider. Think about drug-drug interactions. Think about things you may not see that may be happening. You know what I mean? So those are good advice tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing just to even touch on with kids. Kids and supplements is a totally different ball game.
Okay.
A lot of these things, we don't test them on kids. We don't test them on pregnant women. It's unethical.
Well said.
We can't really know how these things are going to interact growing bodies. So that is something to keep in mind. And all I think about with the melatonin, just a side note, I'll never forget this. We were on a trip and there was a dad next to us that was just giving his kids melatonin gummies the entire flight and turns to me and says, you want one? You want one for your daughter? I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. So I understand the desperation, but I think there's definitely better ways to deal with it for sure.
No, totally. Well, I'm going to ask you one more before we say goodbye. I mean, you're pretty hip, so I'm going to end on the hip question. What's trending? What's trending? What's the hip one out there right now?
I think collagen. It's everywhere.
Collagen?
I mean, it's still buzzy, And I'm like, I get so many questions about collagen.
Okay.
Literally, when people hear you're a dietitian, the first question they ask you is about collagen. And the one thing I will say about collagen that people don't understand, there's different types of collagen.
Yeah.
Some types are better for joint health. Some types are better for skin health. So people will be saying to me, oh, I'm taking this collagen for, to help with my joints. It doesn't even have type 2 collagen in it.
Yeah.
So you're just paying for something that's not doing anything, right? So collagen is a big one. Also, I feel like you're hearing a lot about like derivatives of probiotics. Now you're hearing about symbiotics. You're hearing about postbiotics, right?
God. Oh, it's getting confusing again.
Yes,
It's
it's
really confusing.
confusing for me sometimes when I'm reading through this stuff. But even the postbiotics, I think, is very, very confusing. But it's interesting. And then I have to do more research on the colostrum stuff.
Yeah,
but that's definitely
you mean breast milk colostrum
everywhere.
Breast milk colostrum.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
how are you taking that supplement? You know what I mean? Are you stealing it from pregnant women, or what are you doing?
I don't know. I think they get it from animals. But
okay.
I will say I don't know much about it. That's when I want to do a really deep dive into, because you hear people say all these crazy things about it, and
we love it.
Don't go by Don't go by personal anecdotes though, right? Like go by like the research, right?
Yeah.
Again, I'm nursing my baby. I nursed my first child for a year. I think breast milk is amazing.
Yeah.
But I wonder about the sourcing with the stuff. You have to kind of always go into these things with like, a question and an inquisitive eye, because there might be a reason why we're like not, taking colostrum when we're 30 years old. Like there might be a reason why we're not taking these things anymore in our life, right? So that is a thought I have. But again, that's something I have to dive deeper into for sure.
I'll give you one. I'll tell you what people are asking me about left and right now for supplements. NAD. OMG. People are putting NAD in an IV and putting it through their blood. They're taking it orally. Yeah. Have you heard a lot about NAD? Are you getting a lot of NAD stuff?
Sure. Lots of NAD questions.
Are you going to give 2 thumbs up like, yeah, or is the jury not there yet?
Here's my thoughts on NAD. You know, I have a cancer background, cancer care backgrounds.
Okay.
So anything that stimulates a pathway, hyperstimulates a pathway, kind of scares me. I'm going to be honest with you. Like there might be a reason why these things decline as we age, right? I think that a little bit of something can be beneficial, but if we start hyperstimulating a certain pathway that's really not meant to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to give you cancer. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we just don't know what can happen there.
Yeah.
And these things haven't, been around long enough in the supplement space for us to know long-term necessarily. So I'm a fan of just a good, healthy diet, drink your water, move your body. That's going to be your natural NAD supplement, okay?
Well
just take care of yourself.
Hey, as we sign off, where can people find you, look at you, say what's up? Do you have a website, any social media stuff you want to say?
Yes. So obviously goodhousekeeping.com. My website's stefanisassos.com. My Instagram, all my stuff is just Stefani Sassos with an F. That's where you can find me, and you'll see me and my big fit Greek family there, and all of our healthy living, all my fun cooking, all that stuff.
Well, let me just say this, Stephanie, you are amazing and nice and beautiful and cool. And thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, you are awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure, and it was a great conversation.
Hey, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's Dr. Raj podcast. It is real. I had so much fun doing this one. I hope you guys dig it, and stay tuned for the next podcast coming soon.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Dr. Raj podcast. If you enjoy the show, then please make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app and leave a rating while you're there. This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. This has been a production of MedPrep2Go, and you can learn more at medprep2go.com.